6 True Scary Walmart Horror Stories, Volume 4. Story 1. The Tire Center, Part 1. My name is Marcus, and I was 27 years old when this happened. I dropped my car off at the tire center at a Walmart in suburban Indianapolis, Indiana, to get new tires installed. It was a Saturday afternoon around 2:30 p.m., and the store was busy with weekend shoppers. The service advisor told me it would take about an hour. I decided to wait in the small customer area near the garage bays. After 45 minutes, the waiting room emptied out. I was alone. That is when a man in a Walmart uniform walked in and locked the door behind him. Subscribe now and leave a comment below, because that man did not work there. Part 2. The tire center was at the far end of the Walmart, separated from the main store by a set of heavy doors. It had its own entrance, its own waiting room, and its own staff. The waiting room was small, maybe 6 chairs, a television mounted on the wall, a vending machine in the corner. A large window overlooked the garage bays where mechanics worked on vehicles. When I arrived, 3 other customers were waiting. Over the next 45 minutes, they were called one by one as their cars were finished. By 3:15, I was alone. I was scrolling through my phone when the door opened. A man walked in wearing a Walmart vest. He looked official. Then he locked the door behind him. Part 3. I looked up. "Can I help you?" He smiled. Something about it was wrong. "Just doing a security check, making sure everything is in order." He walked toward me slowly. "Your car is the grey Honda, right?" "Yes." "Nice car. I noticed it when you pulled in." He had been watching me arrive. "The mechanics said it would be another 30 minutes. Figured I would keep you company." I stood up. "That is okay. I am fine waiting alone." "Sit down." His voice changed, harder now. I said, "Sit down." Part 4. I noticed his hand move to his pocket. "What do you want?" "I want your wallet, your phone, your car keys. This is a Walmart. There are cameras everywhere." "Not in this room. They've been broken for 3 months. Budget cuts." He'd done his research. He pulled out a knife. "Give me everything, now." I reached for my wallet slowly. My eyes scanned the room. The locked door, the window overlooking the garage, the mechanics working on cars completely unaware. The window. Part 5. I grabbed the chair next to me and threw it at him. He ducked. I ran toward the window and slammed my fist against the glass. "Help someone, help." The mechanics looked up. The man cursed and ran toward the door. He fumbled with the lock. I kept pounding on the glass. One of the mechanics started running toward the waiting room. The man got the door open and fled. Part 6. They caught him in the parking lot. He had stolen the Walmart vest from a storage closet. He did not work there. His name was Vernon Dale Simmons, 44 years old. He had robbed customers at 3 other Walmart service centers across Indiana using the same method: fake uniform, isolated waiting rooms, broken cameras. 2 customers had been hurt. 1 had been hospitalized. Vernon Simmons was convicted of robbery and assault. He is serving 12 years. Part 7. If that window had not been there, if the mechanics had not looked up, if he had gotten what he wanted before anyone noticed. I do not wait alone in service areas anymore. If you use Walmart tire centers or any automotive waiting areas, pay attention to who enters. Notice if doors are locked. Know where the exits are. Because predators wear stolen uniforms. They know which cameras are broken, and they wait for you to be alone. Story 2. The Overnight Stalker, Part 1. My name is Aliyah, and I was 22 years old when this happened. I worked the overnight stalking shift at a Walmart in rural Louisiana, about 50 miles west of Baton Rouge. It was a Tuesday night, 3:15 a.m., and the store was closed to customers. I was organizing shelves in the home goods section at the back of the building. The area was isolated far from other employees. I was kneeling down to stock a bottom shelf when I felt a presence behind me. I turned around. A man was standing there. He was not wearing a Walmart uniform. He was holding a crowbar. Subscribe now and leave a comment below. Because he had hidden in the store until closing. Part 2. Working overnight at Walmart meant stocking shelves while the store was closed. No customers. Just employees scattered throughout the massive building. Our store was huge, over 150,000 square feet. It took 15 minutes to walk from one end to the other. The overnight crew was small, maybe 12 people to cover the entire store. That Tuesday I was assigned to home goods, one of the farthest sections from the front. At 3:15 I was stocking towels on a bottom shelf, my back to the aisle. I heard nothing over the ambient noise of the building, until I felt someone behind me. I turned around. A man, maybe 45, dirty clothes, wild eyes, holding a crowbar. Part 3. Where is the pharmacy safe? I stood up slowly, backing against the shelf. I do not work in the pharmacy. I just stock shelves. You have keys. You have access. I do not. I only have keys to the stockroom. He stepped closer, raising the crowbar. Then you're going to take me to someone who does. I looked down the aisle. Empty. The nearest co-worker was probably 100 feet away, around multiple corners. Okay. I will take you to someone. I started walking slowly toward the main aisle. He followed crowbar, ready. Part 4. I needed to find help, or create a distraction. As we walked, I passed an end cap display of glass vases. I grabbed one and threw it at the floor. It shattered with a crash that echoed through the empty store. What the hell are you doing? I threw another one, and another. Stop! He swung the crowbar. I ducked and ran. Part 5. I sprinted toward the front of the store, screaming, "Someone is in the store! He has a weapon!" Behind me, I heard him running, then stopping, then running the other direction, toward the back exits. My co-workers appeared from different aisles. What happened? Someone broke in. He went toward receiving security. Found him at the loading dock trying to pry open an emergency exit. Police arrived within 10 minutes. Part 6. His name was Raymond Earl Hutchins, 46 years old. He had hidden in the bathroom before closing, waited until the store locked, then hunted for isolated employees. He had done this at 4 other Walmarts. 3 employees had been hurt. When they searched him, they found rope tape and a hunting knife in addition to the crowbar. Raymond Hutchins was convicted of assault breaking and entering and possession of kidnapping materials. He is serving 18 years. Part 7. For hours, a man had been hiding in our store. waiting for the customers to leave, waiting for someone to be alone. If I had not thrown those vases, if no one had heard, if he had caught me. I do not work overnight shifts anymore. Check hiding spots before closing. Look in bathrooms and storage areas. Make sure your building is actually empty, because predators hide inside stores. They wait until the doors lock, and they know exactly when you will be alone. Story 3. The Parking Garage Part 1. My name is Brianna, and I was 26 years old when this happened. I was shopping at a Walmart in suburban Chicago, Illinois, that had a multi-level parking garage attached. It was a Friday evening around 8:30 p.m., and I had parked on the 3rd level. After finishing my shopping, I walked back to my car with my bags. The garage was quieter than I expected. Most cars on my level were gone. As I approached my vehicle, I noticed a van. A white cargo van with no windows parked directly next to my driver's side door. It had not been there when I arrived. Subscribe now and leave a comment below, because 2 men were waiting inside. Part 2. The parking garage was convenient for bad weather, but at night it felt different. Concrete walls, poor lighting, sound echoing in strange ways. I had parked on the 3rd level near the elevator when I arrived around 6:30. The level was moderately full then. 2 hours later, as I returned with my shopping bags, most cars were gone. My car was near the far wall, isolated now, and a white van had appeared next to it, positioned so close to my driver's door that I would have to squeeze between the vehicles. Engine running, no windows on the sides, 2 figures visible through the tinted windshield. Part 3. I stopped walking. Something was deeply wrong. I pulled out my phone. "Hey, you are blocking my car." No response. The van's side door slid open. A man stepped out. Large, dark clothes. "Sorry about that. We are making a delivery. Come on over." His partner got out of the driver's side. 2 large men between me and my car, in a parking garage with no other people visible. Part 4. Stay where you are. I am calling 911. I started dialing. The first man's expression changed. "There's no need for that." He took a step toward me. "I am already connected. They can hear everything." Sirens in the building. Someone else must have called. The men heard them. They exchanged a look. Then they got back in the van and sped toward the exit ramp. But security had already been alerted. The gate at the exit was down. Part 5. They arrested both men trying to flee on foot, Carl Douglas Patterson and Vernon Dale Hobbs, both in their late 40s. When they searched the van, they found rope tape and a mattress, and photographs of women at parking garages across Illinois. The investigation connected them to 3 missing women. 2 bodies were found on property owned by Patterson. I was almost the 4th. Part 6. If I had approached my car, if I had squeezed into that gap, if security had not already been alerted. I do not park in garages anymore. I do not park far from entrances. If a van blocks your car, do not approach. Go back inside. Call police. Because sometimes the van is hunting, and the people inside have done this before. Story 4. The Fitting Room Camera. Part 1. My name is Jasmine, and I was 23 years old when this happened. I was shopping at a Walmart in suburban Phoenix, Arizona on a Saturday afternoon. It was around 3:15 p.m. and the store was busy. I grabbed some clothes and headed to the fitting rooms. The attendant gave me a number and directed me to stall 4. I walked in, closed the door, and started changing. That is when I noticed something on the wall. A small black dot where 2 panels met. I looked closer. A tiny red light was blinking behind it. Subscribe now and leave a comment below, because someone was recording me. Part 2. The fitting rooms were at the back of the clothing section. 8 individual stalls with doors that had gaps at the top and bottom. I had used these rooms before, never noticed anything unusual. But that Saturday as I changed, something caught my eye. A small black dot on the wall, almost invisible unless you were looking. And behind it, a faint red light, blinking steadily. A camera. Part 3. I grabbed my clothes and covered myself. I dressed quickly and walked calmly to customer service. There's a camera hidden in fitting room 4. Someone is recording people. The manager's face went pale. They locked down the fitting rooms immediately. Police arrived within 20 minutes. Part 4. Behind the wall was a maintenance closet. Inside they found a laptop receiving feeds from cameras in 3 different stalls, and a man. His name was Eugene Ray Simmons, 48 years old. He worked in maintenance. He had been recording customers for over 2 years. Thousands of recordings on his drives. Some involved minors. Part 5. Eugene Simmons was convicted of voyeurism and multiple charges involving illegal recordings. He is serving 25 years in federal prison. The company installed solid walls in all fitting rooms. Regular inspections became mandatory. If you use fitting rooms, check the walls. Look for holes, unusual marks, or tiny lights, because predators find ways to watch. They drill holes, they hide cameras, and they count on you not looking. Story 5. The Pharmacy Stalker, Part 1. My name is Deshawn, and I was 25 years old when this happened. I stopped at a Walmart pharmacy in suburban Atlanta, Georgia, to pick up a prescription. It was a Monday evening around 7:15 p.m. I waited in line, collected my medication, and walked toward the exit. A man who'd been standing near the pharmacy started walking in the same direction. When I turned down an aisle, he turned. When I stopped, he stopped. When I headed for the exit, he followed. Subscribe now and leave a comment below, because that man had been watching me since I walked in. Part 2. The pharmacy was at the back of the store. You had to walk through the entire building to reach the exit. I had noticed the man briefly while waiting for my prescription. Maybe 45 ordinary looking. He was not in line, just standing near the greeting cards watching. After I collected my medication, I headed toward the front. He started walking too. I turned down the electronics aisle. He turned down the electronics aisle. I stopped to look at headphones. He stopped about 30 feet behind me, pretending to look at something, but his eyes were on me. Part 3. I walked faster. He walked faster. I made a random turn. He made the same turn. No doubt now I was being followed. I walked toward the customer service desk. There is a man following me through the store. He's been behind me since the pharmacy. The employee looked past me. Which one? I turned around. He was gone. Part 4. Security reviewed the footage. He had been following me since I entered the pharmacy line. When I reported him, he slipped out a side exit. But they got his face on camera. His name was Gregory Paul Whitmore, 47 years old, stalking charges in 3 states. When they found him a week later, they searched his car. Photographs of people at pharmacies across Georgia, notes about their prescriptions, their addresses. He targeted people picking up specific medications that suggested they lived alone, or were vulnerable. Part 5. Gregory Whitmore was convicted of stalking and harassment. He is serving 10 years. If someone follows you through a store, do not go to the parking lot. Report them immediately. Because predators watch pharmacy lines. They listen for names and medications. And they follow you out to your car. Story 6. The Garden Center After Dark, Part 1. My name is Terrell, and I was 24 years old when this happened. I worked at a Walmart in suburban Memphis, Tennessee. It was a Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m., and my manager sent me to close up the outdoor garden center. The garden center was at the side of the building, partially enclosed, but open to the parking lot through a large gate. At night, it was isolated from the main store. I walked out to lock the gate. A man was standing in the shadows near the mulch display. He was not a customer. The store was about to close. He was just standing there, watching me. Subscribe now and leave a comment below. Because he had been waiting for someone to come out alone. Part 2. The garden center was one of those outdoor sections attached to the main building. During the day, it was busy with customers buying plants and landscaping supplies. At night, it was empty, poorly lit, isolated from the rest of the store. Closing the garden center meant walking out alone to lock the exterior gate and secure the area. That Wednesday, I headed out at 9:30. The area was quiet. Just rows of plants, bags of soil, and outdoor furniture. Then I saw him, a figure standing near the mulch display, maybe 50 feet away, not moving, just watching. Part 3. Sir, the store is closing. You need to head to checkout. No response. Sir, we are closed. He started walking toward me, slowly, deliberately. Something was wrong. I backed toward the door to the main store. Stay where you are. He kept coming. I turned and ran. Part 4. I burst through the door into the store. Someone is in the garden center. He is coming this way. My co-workers looked up. The man appeared in the doorway behind me. He saw the other employees, saw the witnesses. He turned and ran back into the garden center. Security chased him. He escaped over the fence into the parking lot. But our cameras captured his face. Part 5. His name was Harold Eugene Patterson, 49 years old. He had attacked employees at garden centers before. 3 women at different stores had been assaulted in similar situations. He knew that garden centers were isolated at closing time. He waited for employees to come out alone. When they found him, 2 weeks later, they found photographs and notes about Walmart garden centers across Tennessee. Harold Patterson was convicted of assault and stalking. He is serving 15 years. Part 6. I was lucky. I ran before he reached me. I had co-workers nearby. If I had been slower, If no one had been inside, if he had caught me in that dark garden centre. I do not close isolated areas alone anymore. If you work at stores with outdoor sections, never go out alone after dark. Use the buddy system. Watch for people who shouldn't be there, because predators know which areas are isolated. They wait in the shadows, and they know exactly when you will come out to lock the gate, the end. If these stories scared you, leave a comment below and tell me which one was the most terrifying. And remember, the next time you visit or work at a Walmart, pay attention to your surroundings. Be cautious in isolated service areas. Check fitting room walls for cameras. Notice anyone following you through the store. Never close outdoor sections alone, because predators are everywhere. They wear stolen uniforms. They hide until closing. They wait in vans. They watch pharmacy lines. They lurk in garden centers after dark. And they are always watching, always planning, always waiting for the moment when you are alone. Stay alert. Stay safe. Trust your instincts, because your instincts could save your life.